having purpose in your life is not a now or then type of thing. Let's talk about that. Hey, it's Lynnie Wennerstrom, and I'm here to help you find your purpose. And one of the tools I use is Dr. Shad Helmstetter's book, 365 Days of Positive Self-Talk for Finding Your Purpose. So today is December 14th, day 349, 17 days left. 17 days left in 2024. Woo! That's moving fast. We are 95.36% complete with the year. So 95.63. All of this is just like, wow. That's like really close to the end. Okay, but then there's a new beginning. Like always, like you close a chapter and then you open another one and start all over again. We have so many chapters that open and close for us throughout our lives. And it's just like, say yes and move into the next chapter with grace and enthusiasm and excitement for whatever it has to offer you, because you're the one creating it. So create whatever you want. Okay, so here is your phrase for today, the passage for today. Having purpose in my life is not a now and then thing. The value of my life is with me every day in so many ways. No matter where I am or what I'm doing, I'm mindful of who I am and why I'm here. No matter where I am or what I'm doing. I'm singing to the Christmas music. It's so fun. I was going to try and record the video before the party, but we already finished the party. And I was like, I just wanted to be with you guys for a minute. So, wanted to be with you. Sounds so Christmassy, so happy. It was a really very nice party. It was pretty much the people in the neighborhood. But anyway, it was a really, really nice party. Okay, so we're gonna turn around. Having purpose in your life is not a now and then thing. The value of your life is with you every day in so many ways. No matter where you are or what you're doing, you're mindful of who you are and why you're here. Is that music too loud? It's almost like, it sounds like I'm gonna be jamming out here. Anyway, this is really good. I'm gonna turn it down because I think it's a little bit loud. Let's see if I can turn it down over here just a teeny bit. There. That sounds a little better, but maybe now you won't be able to hear it. But anyway, but at least now I'll be able to talk to you. Okay, because it was loud and it made me just want to dance. It sounded really good. Okay, so this, having purpose, it really is not a now and then thing. It's once you know, when you go within and you know exactly what you're about, then this is why it's not a now or then thing. It's an always thing, because once you know it, you have that direction and you're moving in your direction. It adds value to your life. You have meaning, it's like there's meaning and it just feels so good. Every day you know where you're going. You may not know the exact road to take, but this is why you set goals. And, and I had a comment yesterday about setting goals, Renata, and you can see it in the comments. And the thing is, you literally create your own life. You set, this is why I constantly share to use the app that Dr. Shad Helmstetter created. The app contains the language of positive self-talk, and that will rewire your brain when you're just doing other things, so that it almost seems too magical or too good to be true. But if you understand how the brain works with not concepts, but very precise directions. Like you can think about a concept, you can move through a concept, but that doesn't change your brain. This is why affirmations, that's not the way to go if you want to rewire your brain, because they're pretty general. Usually they're more spiritual in nature, and they're very they're just not specific. And so you need to have specificities. You need to be super specific with the brain, because it's a computer and you're programming it with the language that you want. So to have a higher self-esteem, like you want a healthy self-esteem, and that is the foundation of every single one of the programs that you want. And you're click, click, click. Look at my earrings are click, click, click. Have all my jewelry on. It's like, Got to be there at the party. Bring my mommy with me, all the turquoise. But that is so importante that you understand that your brain works not on generalities like, oh, maybe tomorrow I'll do the laundry. It's not going to help you to get the laundry done. Now, if you said, tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'm going to put the laundry in and I'm going to put it on, cold for whatever, and then I'll fold it after it dries. But real specific. When the dryer's done, when the washer's done, I'll put it in the dryer, and then when the dryer's done, I'll fold it. And I'll have that all done by, whatever time in the day. But really specific, because then you're programming your brain, and that is like one day. But if you did it every single Friday, like Steve always had washing sheet Friday. It used to be earthing sheet Tuesday, and then we moved to Fridays because we always had the earthing sheet. And now it's washing sheet Friday because that was when it worked best for me. And he'd always say, "Babe, it's washing sheet Friday," and so I'd wash the sheets. And I knew, it's like it come up. It's washing sheet Friday, and so that was he would remind me, and then I do it. But still, it was always, I knew it was Friday. Washing sheet Friday, I got the sheets done. So it was part of my routine on Fridays. It was part of my routine for him to tell me first thing in the morning, because he would, any reminders and stuff, he was so good at that. So this is really to understanding how to rewire your brain, how to reprogram it with the programs of listening passively. And it's always in the, it's always in the description or in the notes, always. And so you can go and it says, get 30 days free. And that is the self-talk language that Dr. Shad Helmstetter created. And it literally is 3 phrases said 3 different ways and mixed with, not 3 different, one phrase said 3 different ways, and then more and more, however many phrases. It builds on itself. So when it's about self-esteem, it's building your self-esteem. When it's about you having courage and the know-how and the ability and the understanding that you're just as able to create the financial, whatever financial success you want, to help you to get there, to rewire the brain to where you feel you're worthy and you're just as competent in whatever it is you're doing as anyone else, and you're just as worthy to receive abundance, because you are. There is no one higher than you or lower than you. We are all equal. We are all individual expressions of the one. But then we got programmed. You were born with unlimited promise and potential, and then you got programmed. Every single one of us did. But when you get it through neuroplasticity, it's like, oh, there's no shame in it. It's like, wow, these are all programs? Great. I get to change my programs of unworthiness or shame or that I'm not good enough or I'll never have enough. I get to change those. Those are just programs. That's what I want to get. That's what I want to tell you. Like, please understand that you are unique, you're individual, you're an individual expression of the one, yet you are the one. You are an individual expression of the one, so therefore you're a part of God, universe, the one, whatever you want to call that higher frequency, the higher, the whatever that divine, the higher power, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. It's just as valid, whatever you call it. And you are an individual expression of that. And when we leave planet Earth, we go back into that individual expression. We go into the one, just like the drops of the ocean that I talk about all the time. The little drops, they go like up in the spray, and they go whee, and they're having fun. And one is down here, and one's up here, and in the placement of the spray, and one's a little bigger, and one has a little piece of, seaweed or sea moss or whatever. But they all have all the constituents of the ocean in them, and they might be unique with, being a little smaller, a little bigger, a little whatever, have a little piece of the ocean or something, the sea moss or whatever. But they're all very, very unique, but they all have all the constituents of the ocean. And so they go up up, woo, and they're playing here and doing this and doing that and fighting over here and da-da-da. I was here first. Oh, I'm going to help you. Can I help you? Yes, I can. And all these things. It's all different personalities of the little drops. You know, they're over here and here and here, and then they all go boing, and they all fall in at different times, just like we leave planet Earth at different times. But then they have all the constituents of the ocean, and they are an individual expression of the ocean, and then they drop back into the ocean, all those drops, all those little droplets, and then boom, they are the ocean. Could you go back and pick out one of those little droplets and say, oh, that was you? No, it's all one. And that is us. That is us in consciousness of the one energy, of the field, of quantum, you know, the quantum field, of whatever you want to call it. And that's the science of it. But we are all part of that, which means you are part of that. So these are programs that are running that you're not good enough. You don't remember names. I heard so many programs tonight at the party. It's like, well, I'm not good at that. I've never been good at learning names. You know, I learn a name, but I don't know a face. And I mean, these are social things, you know, and you run into them all the time. And you hear these programs, and you hear people say these things. They're programs. You could always remember a face. You can always remember a name. All you have to do is change your program. You know, I'm too shy to do that. Well, you are if you say you are. You don't remember names if you say you don't remember names. But now start saying that you do remember names. Start rewiring the brain. Start telling yourself that you are worthy, that you are good enough, that you are a drop in the ocean, and you are an individual expression of the one. It's just a matter of degree that you are the human. So that is, you know, I teach practical spirituality. So the spiritual journey and the human experience. And those two were both at the same time. We are on the spiritual journey and we are human. We have chosen to become here, to be human. So when you find your purpose, ahoy, where's my purpose? No, go deep within. Know where you're going. When you have your purpose, and if you already have it, go you. If you haven't yet said, this is why I'm here. We know who you are on planet Earth. You're a culmination of your programs. This is why there's no shame and no feeling badly or thinking, man, I'll never get there. I'll never have enough. I'm not good enough. All the programs that happen. I always lose things. I'm so clumsy. I'm program after program after program. They're just programs. You know, I'm a victim of this or that. That person did this to me. Then you give away your power. And giving away your power, complaining, any of those things, those are also programs. You can change all of that, every bit of it. And if I haven't conveyed that to you in a whole year, actually more than a year, if I have not conveyed that to you, I apologize, because it is my goal and it is my purpose in what I'm doing here to help you to understand how easy it is to change your programs. It's not an overnight thing. No, all this human thing of, you know, instant gratification. No, it's not an overnight thing. But you start, and I told you on day 3 when I first started, all of a sudden I was like, I'm going to set my goals. And I felt so positive. I was listening to goal setting, you know, mastering goal setting. It's not mastering goal setting, but it's something like that. Self-talk for goal setting, success at goal setting, something like that. But it's all about setting goals. And every single one of those programs has self-esteem, building self-esteem as the foundation of it. And then there's the actual program for building self-esteem. There's Super Coach, which just tells you how awesome and amazing you are, helps you with your health and fitness, helps you with your finances, getting financial strength, helps you with your self-esteem. And then there's that's just that one. That's for the Super Coach. And then there's the one there's for getting healthy and fit. There's one losing weight, stopping smoking, from recovery, from any recovery from any addiction. And let me tell you something. Addiction is not just about drinking alcohol or smoking or eating too much or drugs. It's not just that. It's complaining. It's playing the victim role. It's like anything that is that it becomes a habit. And so this is why neuroplasticity is so powerful. When you understand it, your brain is just waiting for you to tell it, to give it directions, what you want. And so when I read a passage, there's one for every single day, which is really cool. You need to hear it over and over and over, at least 21 days, more like 30 days. And the more that you hear it, because 21 days to change a habit, right? Neuroscientists and researchers tell us about 21 days to change a habit. It's really about 21 days to dismantle the programs that are so strong and have a hold on you and stop you and hold you back and are harmful and are sabotaging you. It's those that are counterintuitive, counterproductive. It's those programs, not counterproductive, that are stopping you and that you get to switch. Those are the ones that start getting dismantled as you're listening to this self-talk over and over these programs. And then all of a sudden those become the stronger program. So it's just like, you'll see that in about 21 days, especially like at 30 days, you're just like, you're more positive, you're starting to feel more confident. That's what happens. And so if I have not conveyed that to you in a whole freaking arse year, because we have 19 days? 17 days left in the year, then I apologize profusely. Because if you have not downloaded that app, and it is 30 days free, after that it's $19.99, and you can have up to 6 peeparoos, 6 people on that app with you. It's very inexpensive to have a family, or to have you can have up to 6 people on that account. So why not give yourself the gift of changing your programs, rewiring your brain through neuroplasticity? Take your brain and take it on the most wildest, amazing ride that you tell it exactly what you want it to do. And these programs that Dr. Shad Helmstetter created to help you have financial strength, to teach you, it's like rewire your brain. And it's a guide as you listen. It's like, I always set my goals, and I set my goals and I look at them every morning and night, and I always know the 3 top things, the goals I'm going for. And it's always and never, and all these words that are just like, brain, this is where we're going. And at first you think, well, that's not me. First of all, if you never want to listen when you start off, you never want to listen to it. Do you know why? Because your brain says, that's not me. That's not me. No, that feels icky. That's not me. No, I don't sit down and look at my goals morning and night. I don't, and it starts pushback, because these are the old programs saying, that's not the program we're running. We're running the program that says, yeah, I never set my goals. I never, it's running the ones that were never true. Those programs, they were never true to start, because you were born with unlimited promise and potential and a blank slate. And then you got programmed to where now you worry, you're concerned, you feel like you don't have enough, you don't know enough, and so your programs are fighting all of that goodness to help you get where you want to go. And all you have to do is rewire your brain and start telling it, no, brain, this is what we're going to do. And you have it so low so you're not pushing back. Your brain with those programs are not pushing it back. This is why you do it passively, meaning you're doing something else. You're doing dishes, you're having breakfast, you're driving in the car, you're working out, whatever it is, you're doing something else as you listen, and not putting all your full attention on it, because you don't want the pushback. And because they're just programs. So breathe with me right now, a sigh of relief. Man, had I just known they were programs a long time ago, I'd be so much further ahead. Don't say that. You're exactly where you need to be. And start today. Download it today and start rewiring your brain. Move into 2025 with new programs. You'll be so close because it's 21 days, right? About 21 days. It could be a few, like a week less, or it could be a week more, but you'll be more positive and you'll be more on point. You'll be more moving towards what it is you want to achieve. So I hope that's helpful. I really do. And just know that as part of your purpose, it isn't just a here and, it's not a now and then thing. It is a consistent moving towards your purpose, understanding, like really having that meaning. Every day you wake up and it just, where when I say you know where you're going, the direction in which you're headed. You are on that boat that is like, it is going in the direction that you steer it, because you have a rudder that's saying, this is my purpose, I'm moving here, this is what I'm going to be doing, these are the skill sets I'm going to be developing around that, and things I'm going to be learning, the things I'm going to be giving and offering and sharing, the things I'm going to learn to help others, and you stay on that path. So it's not a now and then, it's all the time. And it's so beautiful because you feel it from within. You feel aligned. You feel so aligned because you are that droplet of the ocean that is that individual, unique, having its own experience, going wee and then it's coming down, and there are others still up ahead, and then it's coming down, and there's over here and over there and different ones, very, very unique, and then splash, splish, splash, and it's back into the ocean. It is the ocean. That drop had all the constituents of the ocean, and then it became the ocean. And that's you. It's just a matter of degree as the human, having the human experience. You're still the spiritual at the same time, but you can touch and see and have, it's so cool being a human, the human experience. It's just so cool because you experience things like loss and grief. I'm still moving through that. It's very recent, very raw still, but it's such a privilege and an honor for me to feel that, because I also felt love, intense love, and a lot of emotions in my 35 years with my husband. So now I have the contrast, of the love and all of those things, and then the grief and the loss. That's a human, that we lose someone. We had a celebration of life for Steve last Saturday, because even though there's sadness and grief and other things that as humans we have the honor and privilege to feel, it's a celebration that he's no longer a drop over here of the ocean. He's now the ocean. He's now consciousness. He's now God. He's now universe. He's now higher power. That's what he is. Will his essence always live as Steve Wennerstrom? Sure, that essence is always there. That's why I can talk to him and feel his love, because his essence will always exist. It's kind of like his astrological chart when he was born. It will always exist. Everything always exists. Everything is always and never and always. Everything is one. We are all interconnected. Everything is interconnected. It's just energy. It's all energy. And move into quantum physics and understand a little more of that. So if you're more on the scientific, I don't know all of that about quantum physics and everything. I have a pretty good working knowledge of it, enough to understand how it works and entanglement and things like that. Yet the spiritual is where I come from, and really understanding that we are one. And my belief, my own programs are so strong that I love that program of my beliefs. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't change it. I change other things, and I continue to listen to self-talk every day. So I hope that really has excited you to download that app that's in it's 30 days free, and start listening to it, and have, especially if you have young kids, man, get your kiddos on there so that they have high self-esteem. They got a really healthy self-esteem as they grow, especially if, you know, if they're infants and 2, 3, 4, it doesn't matter. There's 0 to 7, so right when they're born or before they're born in the mommy's panza, mommy's stomach. I used to read and sing and dance with Lynette when she was in my stomach. I guess it's not a stomach, but when she was in my womb. But I would talk to her. I would tell her what we were doing. I would read her stories. I'd sing songs. Poor thing. But anyway, it just, you know, and she just, you know, I mean, every child, like we come in, and it's that neuroplasticity. It's always, whether it be vibration from before they're born, but all that, we were born with unlimited promise and potential. You were blank slate, and then you got programmed by other people who's most well-meaning, but they were programmed, and they probably didn't know about neuroplasticity, because it's not a new thing, but it, you know, the 80s or whenever that it actually, neuroscience has been around, but the way that it's understood is not really all that old. So, and then teaching it alongside like epigenetics, which is definitely another science that is not that old, and understanding that it is not our DNA that changes our biology. It's our environment, our thoughts. Our thoughts are electric. Our feelings are magnetic, and that's that electromagnetic field that we send messages out and receive messages in. This is why wherever you vibrate, you want to be vibrating at a high frequency of love, of gratitude, of, you know, rather than anger and frustration and even grief. Like grief is a low frequency. Shame, I think, is the lowest. If you look at very unlike me to forget names. What is his? David Haskins? No, David something. Anyway, it's all the frequencies of the emotions, and I think shame is the lowest. It's David something, but I always know it. Very unlike me not to remember the name. But this is how. So even grief is a low frequency. Why? Because there's lack. There's a feeling of loss. We've lost something, someone, and or an opportunity or something. There's grief, and that's a human. That is not of the spirit. The soul is perfect, and there is no loss. The soul understands. Spirit understands. The human feels the loss, and that is why it's an honor and a privilege to feel that, because then you feel that contrast. Yet it is a lower frequency. It's a lower frequency, and so you don't want to live in the law. You don't want to live in because there's separation. You're creating separation, like you lost something. When we're all one, we're all interconnected. And Steve, his celebration of life, he's now off dancing with the stars, literally, and doing whatever he's doing. You know, he's free. He literally is liberated from the physical heavy density of the body, and now he's consciousness and off on another adventure, doing whatever he's doing. So there's so much beauty in all of that, and empowerment and excitement and adventure. And why not change your self-talk? This is why I got into it and got certified by Dr. Shad Helmstetter, because when I realized, because neuroplasticity, I understood how powerful it was, but I never understood, and I understood that it was repetition in the brain. I got that, but I didn't know like the right language of the brain, that the very clear, concise. I knew those things, but I didn't like to put it all together as Shad has done for us. That would not be like, it's so beautiful. So I hope that you'll download that for yourself, and you just have that, and you can put 6, there's 6 of you on it. So you could have it on your kid's phone, whatever, that you could just be listening in the mornings for breakfast, or, when you're showering. Anyway, I really hope that I've helped you to understand and be a little more clear. I know I've gone a little bit long, but I really would like for you to have the honor and the privilege of changing your brain so that it supports you and that it helps you to do what it is you want to do with your life, rather than you being held back or feeling that you're unable to do something because you don't have enough, you're not enough. You are enough. You are an individual expression of God, universe, the one, whatever you want to call that higher power. You are an individual expression of that. It is only a matter of degree in the human form. So you are that. You are that. And you are light. You are all of that. So if you got it, then download that, because why I got certified is because I knew in the human brain, some of these concepts are a little difficult to get. And it took me years and years to move from my Catholic of guilt and going through a priest to go to God, and just all of it that, not all of it, but a lot of it that holds us back and creates separation, because we're not separate from God. We are God. And that might sound blasphemous. That sounded so blasphemous. But again, think of it, if God is universe, God is consciousness, God is, like, just choose a word that works for you, and understand that you are that. Just like the drops in the ocean, they go up, and they're all different and unique. They're individual expressions of the ocean. And then they all come down, they all go up at different times into the air, and they all come down at different times. And it's just like us being born and us passing through the human experience and dying, passing, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. And then we become God, universe, consciousness, quantum, the field, the one, whatever you want to call it. It's not magical, but it sure feels magical. And more than anything, it gives, it feels good. It brings peace, because if we don't have to compete with others, if we don't have to compare ourselves, then we can just start going and saying, why am I here? Like, why did I choose to come up to planet Earth? And then when you know that, then you have that meaning in your life, and you have direction, and then you know where to set your goals. And you're listening to the self-talk, so you're listening, and you're rewiring your brain so that you actually set your goals and you achieve them. And you use the active goal setting process that I've taught. You just look for goal setting as a spiritual practice. Look for that title. Just not Google, but whatever in YouTube. Just look for that, because that goal setting is a spiritual practice. You're bringing from the invisible into the material world. You're bringing from energy. You're creating matter, and so when you can be more energy, meaning higher frequency, and understanding that whatever your prayer is, whatever it is, just know that it's already answered. All possibilities exist in the quantum field, in the field, in space, in the energy. Just everything exists, all possibilities. You're just going to match the frequency, that high frequency of what it is you want. And then I say high frequency because it's always, you might want a new car, you might want a new home or whatever, but it's not like selfish. It's because you want to move up, and you probably want to help others in some way, and all kinds of stuff. And so it doesn't really matter. It's abundance. We live in a very abundant universe. So whatever it is you want, it's all out there. The possibilities are all out there. It's just matter. If you say, I want a car, that literally is matter. And there's way more energy. Everything's energy, but there's way more. Think about the wave, but there's way more of that than there is matter, or it's just a particle. So goal setting, achieving your goals, you're literally bringing from the invisible into the visible. You are creating matter, even if it's money in a bank account, or starting a new business, or whatever endeavor it is, creating an event. You're literally bringing an idea, a concept, and you're vibrating there, and you're bringing it into by setting goals and doing the active goal setting process. And you're bringing it into matter. You're bringing it into planet Earth. It's pretty simple, but just know they're concepts, and this is why these concepts can be difficult. It's like, well, no, I'm not that, or I don't know, I don't have enough money, I don't have, I don't have the willpower, the strength, or whatever it is, and I don't know that I don't have trust in myself. Whatever those things are, just first of all recognize they are programs. They're programs. So, okay, collectively, man, they're just programs. Whew. Now I'm going to just start listening to the self-talk and change those programs. Whew. I didn't know there was a program. I thought there was something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with you at all. They're just programs. It's just the brain. The brain is like a computer, the most amazing computer ever. No man could ever recreate what we have going on. I don't care what is said about AI or any of that. That truly is man's consciousness that is being pulled into a machine. So participate as you will. Recognize it's a tool of today. You chose the time, the space, the place. You chose it all. So how could any of it be wrong or bad? And just work through it with, do it as whatever you want. But just know that your prayers, your whatever it is, the things that you want, it's already answered. It's already there. But just know it's there, and then start setting your goals and moving towards that. Focus on what you want, not what you don't. So this is why I got certified, because I knew that with neuroplasticity, I could help more peeparoos change their programs so that they'd have the healthy self-esteem, and they'd have the confidence that they could make the money, and they're just as worthy as anyone else of having whatever amount of money they want, and having the relationships that they want, and having the health and fitness that they want, the career that they want, and whatever creations they want to create. So that's it in a nutshell. So I'm going to read this one last time because just to end it on this, that having purpose in my life is not a now and then thing. The value of my life is with me every day in so many ways. No matter where I am or what I'm doing, I'm mindful of who I am and why I am here. Why are you here? I love you so very, very mucho. You can do, be, change, have, create, become absolutely anything. You were born with unlimited promise and potential. And then you got programmed. And so now rewire your brain with the programs that you want. Go into the description or the notes, and you'll find the 30 days free. Download it now, right now, while you're thinking about it. Download it and start your 30 days. See how it feels. Listen to it passively. Don't just listen to it. You can listen, to see what it says, but when you're actually using it for your 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you're listening, don't listen to it. Just leave it passively, because it's good for you to understand what it says, just so you understand. But if you at all push back, like, that's not me, just know that wasn't true, that even what you're saying right now, that's not you, because you were born with a clean slate. So whatever your programs are, that's the pushback. That's the pushback. And it wasn't true in the very beginning, and now it is true because those are your programs. And now you get to rewire and get those stronger programs, dismantle them in about 21 days, and start with the new programs, getting those stronger and stronger. The stronger programs always win, always. So there you go. I love you so very, very mucho. As always, I believe in you. You can do this. And shining my light to brighten yours. And we'll chat tomorrow. Ciao.